Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Eduard. It's a weekend edition kit in 1/72 scale, and it copies Focke-Wulf 190A-8 with standard wings. So German World War II fighter comes in this nice box with a beautiful box art. I hope it will be available as a separate poster because it's a quite nice art here. And the box size is typical for this brand. Here you can see comparison with my hand, and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, and it will be interesting to check which parts are actually supplied in this release. So on the side here you will find some information about the manufacturer, also some safety advices, while on the opposite side you can see 4 marking options which are included into this kit. And just to remind you, we are dealing with a weekend edition, so 4 markings is really nice. This is a top opening box, and there is plenty of space inside, so you won't be getting anything broken because, as you can see, there is some air to breathe for every part. And we have the first plastic bag dedicated to the clear parts. I'm going to open it right now. Clear frame comes in a interesting, I would say, circular shape. So here you can see it. And maybe we will open the lenses a bit. Let's zoom in, and now you can see what we are talking about. So here we have canopy parts. Obviously with these parts you can copy the open cockpit, and this is quite a handy feature because in 1/72 scale small cockpit will be looking impressive, and parts molding quality looks great. It's just a matter of careful painting and masking first, but weekend edition does not include any masks. That's why you will have to cut everything by your own, or maybe you'll have to get an aftermarket set from Eduard. It's up to you. I would rather go with the original set from Eduard because it will give you a, let's say, exact fitment, and you won't be wasting time trying to cut all these tiny stickers, but it's your decision and your money, obviously. Next we continue with the first gray plastic sprue. So here I would suggest we don't zoom out, we actually zoom in and start from the corner, and later we will zoom out. So first of all you can see the fuselage half, which is molded together with the tail fin. We also have some wing mechanization. These are ailerons. And here is another fuselage half. So some of the cooling sections are still separate, for example this top area. And external features, they include the recessed panel lines and rivets, so it's quite nice details for a 1/72 scale aircraft. Here we have one-piece tail wings. And next we continue with wing parts. So overall design is standard for this brand. We have flaps pre-molded, ailerons separately, and if you want to drop the flaps you will have to get the aftermarket PE set, which is sold separately by Eduard, and of course it will cost a bit extra. But what you get here in the original plastic looks really good. By the way, inside the fuselage you won't find anything because cockpit should be assembled separately and then inserted into the fuselage. But that's not a problem because original cockpit is really nicely detailed, and I will show it in a second because all other parts are coming on the last gray plastic sprue, and it's really a mix of various parts. Here you can see it with your own eyes. And maybe let's zoom in, take a closer look here. So these are 2 parts for the main wheel wells. Obviously their choice will depend on the version you will be copying. Here we are dealing with the standard wing. Next we continue with the landing gear doors. We also have some fuel tanks and bombs and one-piece propeller here. Next, another version. Here is the cockpit floor, which comes as a single piece part. And again, it will be worth reminding you that you can get also brassine upgrade for the cockpit, but it will be again additional money, and it will be a bit of work because resin parts in 1/72 scale, it's a lot of fun. The same applies to landing gear wheels, the same applies to the engine, so all this stuff can be upgraded with the original resin. And here we have also landing gear legs, antennas, which won't be used. Obviously antennas are designed for use with the night version of this fighter, but still it is nice to get them out of the box, and obviously it might be handy for your next projects. And spare parts, I always appreciate getting them for free, let's say. Next we continue with another separate plastic bag. Here we have Decals sheets, so I'm going to open them right now. and we will take a closer look together. There are two decal sheets, both are printed in Eduard, and first one is dedicated to the stencils. I will close the lenses a bit, and here you can take a closer look. So all these stencils look impressive, and let's not forget that we are dealing with a 1/72 scale, and you can see all these writings are readable, so it's just a matter of careful application on your aircraft, and I think the final work will only benefit from such addition. But that's not all. As I said, there are two decal sheets, so here is another one. It is also printed in Eduard, obviously, but here we have all the necessary symbols for 4 marking options. We also have some cockpit decals and even seat belts. And this is a really nice inclusion because it means that cockpit will get its own portion of the features, and it won't be just a plain cockpit where you have to do some scratch building. You actually get some, I would say, basic stuff out of the box, and that's why it would make whole model a bit more realistic, if we can say so. So here we continue with assembly manual. This one is printed in form of typical Eduard brochure. So here we have a short history note on the first page, and next we continue with parts map. Here note that blue color means that these parts will not be used, and in my opinion a lot of parts will stay on the sprues, so pay attention to which version you are picking because some of the parts are given in 2 versions. And of course assembly option or assembly process starts with the cockpit. As you can see, we straight away working on the cockpit floor, then you install pilot seat together with the seatbelt decals, and then we join fuselage halves together by installing various bulkheads, exhausts, and engine bay. Well, it's engine insert, let's say, because it's not a full engine, so that's why. Next, we continue here with the wing assembly. So here you have to pay attention whether you would like to install the fuel tank rack or you would like to keep your aircraft clean, let's say. And that will, let's say, define if you have to drill the holes in the lower wing section. Next we continue with the top panels for the cowling. We have separate ailerons installation and also rudder and tail wings and front cowling sections. Next, here you can see the landing gear installation as well as the fuel tank or bomb rack. And here we have the canopy. So canopy is offered in 2 versions, open or closed, but note that open version will demand some additional parts, so that's why it's worth paying attention to what goes where. Here we continue with first 2 marking options. They're coming from 1944. This blue line or blue tail band is quite interesting in my opinion. And here we have another 2 aircraft, 1944 and 1945. And of course on the last page you will find a stenciling guide for this aircraft, and I think it's worth applying all these tiny writings on your Focke-Wulf. So as for the whole set, it should be already available and you can get it on official Eduard website. Of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about such a list. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.